So, welcome to how to simplify your kids' clothes. And I'm basically going to teach you how to create a capsule wardrobe for your kids. I don't call it a capsule wardrobe because when we talk about capsule wardrobes, it feels really restrictive. It sounds like a whole bunch of rules, sounds like a really big headache. It sounds pretty impossible and daunting to actually do. So, I am going to teach you how to do it super simple. And I have been doing this with my kids. Okay, we have 4 kids total. When my stepson is here, we have 4. And this is how I've done all of their clothes basically their entire life. So Breezy was like the first grand baby girl. She was set on clothes for like the first 6 months of her life. And then I had to go buy her clothes. So the way that I did it, I learned really quickly living in Alaska that it was pretty much impossible to buy sizes ahead of time, like going on the clearance rack and buying for the next season and hoping that I got in the right size. I found out pretty quickly that didn't work for me. I was thinking that I was saving myself money, and I wasn't, because I would box it up and forget about it. Am I the only one who doesn't feel the need to decrease how many clothes Lily Bell has? Maybe it's because we only have 1 kid. No, if it's not stressing you out, then that's not a problem at all. And I think it's for moms who have a lot of kids and maybe get way too many hand-me-downs. But laundry, dishes, and toys are typically like the most overwhelming for parents. So, hey, Amy. So like I said, when I started with doing this with Breezy, for like the first year, I was like buying sizes in advance, like stocking up, thinking I was doing myself a favor. And then we'd get to the winter time and she had a bunch of summer clothes, or box them up, and I would forget about them until she was already mostly outgrown. And so it was like a waste of my time. And I would still go to the store and spend like $20 or $30 here and there getting her things, getting her clothes that I thought that she needed, or that I was like, well, this is cute or whatever. And I ended up just having like this chaotic clothes situation. And it was really overwhelming. It was overwhelming to me. And I only had 1 at the time. Then we had Derek, and no one gets like as excited about like the 3rd grandbaby. So he got some clothes, but not a whole lot. It was mostly on us to get him his clothes. And so some of you guys know too, when Derek was 3 weeks old, my husband walked into his contracting job and they were like, oh, by the way, we're not doing contracting anymore. So we had a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-week-old, and neither of us were working because I literally just had a baby. So we were on a super tight budget. So instead of getting frustrated by going out and like buying sizes in advance because they were on clearance, I only bought what they needed for the size that they were in. You know that kids grow through their sizes pretty quickly, especially that first year. So what I would do is go to our thrift store. I would have like a budget of like $40 to $50, and I would pick out 7 pants and 7 either onesies or like shirts, or depending on what season. Alaska pretty much only has 1 season, cold, and a sweater. And I would piece it together so that all of the clothes I could just like mix and match. I could just reach into the closet, pull out what we needed, like shirt, pants, socks, jacket. Yes. SA, baby. What's SA? You mean AK? What are you talking about, Danielle? You're confusing me. Salvation Army. Yeah, got you. No, it was actually Tummies and Tots that I used to go to all the time. I don't know if they're still open. But Tummies and Tots was where I would go because it was right around the corner from our house, and be like, yeah, Salvation Army. I was like, what are you talking about? San Antonio? Salvation Army. But yeah, I would go to Tummies and Tots and get 7 pants, 7 shirts, depending on the season, a pair of heavy boots, a jacket, hat, gloves, and like 1 solid set they needed for that size. And then when they outgrew it, I would budget again, $40 to $50, head over to the thrift store, get the 7 bottoms, 7 tops, a sweater, whatever, like a sweater or a jacket or boots, whatever we needed for that season, and get it in the moment. And I was only spending that much because we had a working wardrobe. We had what we needed. It was super efficient. It was kind to my budget. It was exciting to go shopping because I was like, oh man, she's, her 9-month pants are looking a little short. Time to go get the next size up. And it was really fun to like go piece together this wardrobe, and I could kind of like reinvent it every time. I've posted pictures in here before. Like if you guys saw Kaylee's summer, wardrobe, it was her, I think like 9 months. It was like summery stuff. It was like bright blues and aquas and pinks. And then if you've seen her fall pictures that I did, it's like burnt oranges and mustards and neutral colors like that that fit fall. And it's really fun to do this way. And it actually saves me a bunch of money. Like I said, I'm not forgetting what I have. I'm not accidentally buying the wrong size that doesn't match the season. I'm not being like, oh man, it's, fall's coming up. She's outgrowing her clothes. Better run to Target, spend 20 to 30 to 40, maybe even $50, bring all those clothes home and still not have what we need. I like the buy sell stores because I can get a little in-store credit when I go to purchase new clothes. Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. I would go get that and then I would bring it back and I would maybe only get like $5 or $10. But I mean, $5 or $10 out of like the $40 or $50 budget that I had, that goes a long way. So that is why I started doing this. Okay, we were on a super tight budget. And then I fell in love with it because I got to get them a new wardrobe every few months and it was super fun. And now that they're older, Bree is 9, Derek is 7. They're really excited when they're like, hey mom, and they actually outwear their clothes now before they outgrow them typically because they are older, but it's really fun for them. They're like, we get to go out and mix and match our clothes. And now the budget's higher because clothes are more expensive. It's like Derek, I can still do between like $75 to $100 for his size, which is really great for kids' clothes, brand new. And Bree is about 100 to 125 when I go do that with her. So, but I mean, that lasts like 6 months. So do the math, guys. It saves you money and it saves you time and it saves you energy. Yeah, they do grow so quickly. And like I said, now they're older. So it's not like Kaylee where I have to go do that like every 3 months. I can go like 6 to 9 months with the older kids now, but it is way more efficient on your budget. And then you don't have laundry piles. So that's like the biggest thing for me. Hey, oh, Christina, you're talking. The biggest thing for me is that my laundry is not overwhelming, guys. I don't get behind on laundry. I don't have laundry piles. I don't tell you guys that to brag or be like, man, check out how on top of my life I am, because that's not it. I've just simplified the amount of clothes we have and downsized it so that it's not overwhelming. Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys something too. So if you're been in this group for a while and you've heard me talk about clothes before, you know that I usually typically do like a load of laundry a day. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years, really, since we've been living in Idaho, a load of laundry every day or every other day. I even do this for packs of socks. I buy a big pack and save half for after the first half. Yeah, I do that too, Shaylee. That's how I do. Like I buy them a pack of socks, like so that they have like 12 to 14 pairs of socks. And then once those get holes, I trash all of them and get them a new pair or a new pack of socks because I don't want I don't want a sock bucket. I don't want it. And they keep track of their socks and they always have matches and they're always easy to find and we're not missing. And it's so simple. It's so easy. I do that for my socks, all of our socks, my husband's socks, everybody. And it saves you money. I think sometimes people think it doesn't. They think it's going to be more expensive that way. I promise you it's not. Okay. It's just different from what you've done. But, what I was going to tell you guys, for the last 2 years, I've been doing a load of laundry because it worked for me that way. I was working with my husband. I was pregnant. My big kids were in school while I was pregnant. And then I was home with Kate and I wasn't working. And so I was able to do a load of laundry, start it in the morning and finish it throughout the day, wash it, dry it, put it away. And that worked really well. Now my business here with you guys in this group and the blog and the courses and the podcast and everything is picking up to where I'm really busy during the days. So my husband watches football all day Sunday, and that's what we do as a family together. We eat and we watch football, and now I do all of the laundry on Sundays. So what up, guys? I'm changing my system because that's the season of life that we're in, and that's how I'm doing it. It was becoming too much of a hassle to try and keep up on it a load a day or every other day. And so now I'm like, you know what? We're hanging out at home together, eating food, watching football. I can wash all the laundry on a Sunday and it's fine. And I don't get behind. Like I do it all on a Sunday. It's super easy. We wash, dry, put it away, and that works. So I don't have laundry piles, guys. Laundry is like one of the most overwhelming things for most moms. And the way to get past it is not to come up with a better laundry routine, not to whatever. I don't know, that the solution is not a better laundry routine. The solution is less laundry. Okay. So I want to ask you guys this question. That's totally more my style. Yeah, Emily, and it just really depends on like what season we're in Florida, when I was working, I did it on the weekends too. I did it all in one day. But then, like I said, for the last 2 years, I was like, I'm home anyway. I'm working from home most of the time. And I was pregnant, so I wasn't chasing around a baby. And then obviously, yeah, now that's where we're at. So I want to ask you guys this question about your clothes, because if you're new here, if you haven't heard me talk about laundry before, you're probably like, pump the brakes, crazy lady. There's no way I can have 7 pairs of pants and 7 shirts for my kids and be okay, right? Probably like, no, like I'm in the wrong group. She's crazy. Checking out. Don't check out. Hear me out. So I want to ask you this question. Are your clothes doing, and once a week is not a lot of laundry. No, it's not. It's not a lot. I'd love to have to only do laundry 1 to 2 days a week. So Taylor, listen up, because I'm going to tell you how. You have to reduce the amount of clothes that you have, okay? Having less laundry or having less clothes does not mean that you're doing more laundry, okay? So are your clothes doing their job? Okay, are they doing their job? Because your clothes have a job, okay? Don't give them more power than they deserve. They have a job. That's to clothe you. That's to keep you protected from the weather. Or are they making more work for you? Okay, what are your clothes doing? Are they doing their job? Are they keeping you clothed? Are they making you feel cute and looking fly and whatever? You know, are you like walking down the grocery aisle like J-Lo feeling good? Or are you like, holy crap, like I'm just wearing what I could find on the bassinet buried underneath the dirty clothes? Okay, like what are they doing? So here we go. I'm going to give you my 3 tips for getting a grip on your laundry. And it's not a laundry routine, okay? Understand and trust me when I tell you, you're speaking to my hoarder heart right now. It's breaking because I know you're right. Taylor, that's good though. I'm glad that you're here. You've been in here for a long time. We've been pregnant together for like 2 years. Well, not pregnant, we had babies together. And now we had babies and it's been like 2 years. So I'm glad that you're here. Danielle says, I'll have to look for one more mismatched baby sock. If I have to look for one more mismatched baby sock. Yeah, Danielle, and I do that with baby socks too. 1 pack at a time. And then once they don't fit, I throw them out and I get a new pack. Okay. So trust me when I tell you, less clothes means less laundry. Less clothes equals more time. Less clothes equals less stress. Less clothes equals cuter wardrobes. Less clothes equals feeling better in what you're wearing. Less clothes makes it easier to know what to put your kids in every day. Less clothes makes it easier for your kids to dress themselves. Less clothes is all these great things. Okay, I promise you. We've never run out of clothes. We've never had to go naked. Okay, yeah, Emily says less clothes equals less wrinkles. Shaylee says, preach it. Shaylee does this, so I know that she knows. But what was I going to say? Dang, I had a really good point. Less clothes means great things. Okay. Dang it, what was I going to say? Less fighting with a 3-year-old about too many options. Yeah, Emily, that is super true. Your kids go into their wardrobe and they want to wear all the things, right? And then you get frustrated because they put one thing on and take it off and put it on and take it off and put it on and take it off. And you can't tell what's clean and what's dirty. But less clothes means less wrinkles, right? Like Emily said, less clothes means less letting it sit to die and mildew up in the washer because you're just too overwhelmed to face it. It seems like you're doing more laundry, but it really isn't more. It's just being on top of it with less. Yeah, and I guess I don't really have anything to compare it to because I've only ever done it this way. For like the last 8 years. So I really don't have anything to compare it to. But in 8 years, I've never fallen behind. In 8 years, I've never been like, oh my God, the laundry piles just have to end. So trust me when I say less is the answer. Okay, less is the answer. I was going to say that year when I was trying to figure things out with Bree, and I just wasn't on top of the laundry and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out what sizes we had. We had all kinds of sizes in the closet and I was just like, forget this, don't want to do it. We actually had more circumstances where I was like, I just got to put you in the cleanest dirty clothes. You know what I mean? Let's pick out the cleanest dirty clothes and put them on you because nothing is clean and nothing fits. Okay, so if you've done that, or maybe you've done it with yourself, like, okay, where are my cleanest dirty pants because I haven't done the laundry? Like, that's a very emotionally, mentally draining way to live. You need less clothes. Okay. So that's tip number one. Trust me, less is more. Less is more in a million different ways. I could go on and on and on forever. Clean enough. Yeah, Emily, if you're putting on your clean enough clothes, then you have too many clothes. Okay. So tip number two is that know that you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. Okay. If you're new here, I'm going to tell you the really short version of my story. We moved from Alaska to Florida in about 5 weeks, and we only brought 3 suitcases for a family of 4. 2 suitcases of clothes, 1 of toys. So 1 suitcase of clothes for my 2 kids who were 4 and 2, 1 suitcase of clothes for myself. Had enough. And yeah, we had been living pretty minimally in the clothes area, not in any other area of our life, but in the clothes area, it was pretty minimal. But moving to Florida in that way, I was like, dang, like, we really don't need a lot. We don't need a lot. I'm able to stay on top of it so well that I don't want to go out and buy a bunch of clothes. I don't want to go out and be like stocking up and keeping boxes for 2 years when they fit into it. I don't want to do that, especially because I had learned that I could do it in such a budget friendly way. I don't like the word frugal, but I did it in a budget friendly way because that was the situation that we were in. I only had $40 to $50 to spend on their wardrobe of clothes at the time. So I made it happen. And you just don't need a lot. Okay. For the most part, now my kids are older, so they do have a little bit more of a baseline, which I'm going to talk about you to in a minute. But for the most part, 7 pants or 7 pairs of shorts when we lived in Florida, 7 shirts was absolutely fine. A pack of socks or 2 packs of socks or a pack of underwear or maybe 2 packs of underwear, depending on how many came in a pack and what the potty training situation was like. 1 pair of shoes and a jacket, and we were good. That was all we needed. And it worked when we lived in Alaska, when we had pretty much winter all year round. It worked when we lived in Florida, when we had summer pretty much all year round. Fiscally responsible. There you go. I like that too. And it works here in Idaho, where we literally have 4 seasons. So that's what people say a lot of times too. And I say this in the nicest way. That's your excuse for not wanting to do this, because it works for all seasons. Okay, we're not living out in the elements. Okay, we're not living in tents in the snow. We are most of the time protected from the elements. So you don't need to switch out like, here's the winter clothes because we're sleeping in the snow now. That's not how it is. You do need heavier clothes, but you don't need this really dramatic like wardrobe change for the weathers. Shaylee says, I got Honey to agree to let me get a new wardrobe after I have this baby. I got rid of 3 boxes of clothes I was saving in case I get that big. So much stress carrying that around. It is. Now I have minimal, but what works for me and fits me. So much easier after baby. I'll have 3 pairs of pants and 7 shirts. I'll be set. I love it. I love it, Shaylee. We probably have very similar wardrobes. So that's tip number 2. Just trust me and know that you don't need a lot. You don't need 30 pairs of pants. Okay, yes, tell me about Florida. There are only about 3 months that it's cold, so we layer. Yeah, in Florida, it was really hot all the time. My kids pretty much wore shorts year round, but in the colder months in the winter, when sometimes it would dip down to 50, and they were like, oh my God, we're freezing. I would have like a pair of like thick leggings for Bree and a pair of like sweatpants for Derek that they could wear on those days. My girls have so many clothes and they wear the same ones over and over anyways. My boys change clothes 3 times a day. The socks drive me nuts. I totally took the dirty ones out of the basket this morning. I need to go through and purchase a second time 11 people's clothes and towels. I don't even do laundry all week. The weekend is literally a laundry marathon, and my 4 older daughters are in charge of it. Yeah, and Jessica, for really big families like yourself, I know it's daunting to go through and get to this point, especially because like all of your kids are growing at different rates. But I know that you're working hard. I know that you guys can figure it out. And I think it was you, Jessica, who maybe posted in a big families group, because I got a huge influx of a lot of big family moms. So hopefully you guys can like band together and maybe relate to each other a little bit more than somebody like myself who only has 4 kids. But I feel for you guys. So Amy says, I have purged a lot of clothes, but building an organized wardrobe is where I'm stuck. Okay, perfect. So that's number 3. That's what I'm going to talk to you about now. So if you are feeling stuck right now, this is what I would recommend. Let your kids outgrow the clothes that they're in right now. Okay, let them outgrow them. And then the next size up that they're needing, do this system. So pick a budget, whatever it is for you. Everybody's is different, right? I'm not going to tell you guys you only can spend $50 or you have to go spend $500. Whatever your budget is, pick your budget. Okay, go to the store and you might have to practice this. Yeah, I know, only 4. You might have to practice this. Sometimes it's really good. I like to do it on like an Amazon cart. Sometimes like I'll mix and match like pieces of clothes and idea of like what we want to go get when we go to the store, and I can like price it out. But this is what I do. I start with pants because I feel like pants are more universal than shirts. Like shirts usually have like the crazy colors and the prints and the graphics and whatever. So I picked the pants first. And like for Kaylee's wardrobe, I picked neutrals. I got navies, grays, and some off-whites, which was a mistake. They're already ruined. And that was a mistake, but I start with those pants. And I got her like 5 pair of leggings because I know that it's going to be fall and it's going to be colder. And then I got 2 skirts in similar color scheme that I had picked. Okay. And then, so that's 7 bottoms, like 7 bottoms, some leggings and the bottoms. And then while I'm at the store or while I'm on the Amazon cart, if you buy your kids' clothes on Amazon, you can do it on Amazon too. It's just kind of easy to see visually. I like actually going and feeling and touching the clothes. So I usually do like Walmart, Target, or JCPenney. I love JCPenney. JCPenney has amazing deals for kids' clothes. Then I go and I match shirts to it. So I pick like onesies or long sleeve shirts or short sleeve shirts and match them to the pants. And I literally lay it out in the cart. I'm like pants, 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 all the shirts on the top. And I just kind of look like, does this look like something that I can piece together? Like just grab a pair of pants, grab a shirt, and she looks put together. That's it. Okay. And I'm able to price it out. I'm able to maybe buy some cheaper shirts and then buy some, here, I'll grab an example for you guys real quick. So like I got a pack of onesies so that she has long sleeve shirts, like a pack of onesies, I think it was like 3 or 4 of these for like $9. And then I was able to spend a little bit more on some cuter shirts. Like, you know, instead of like being like, man, I got to go spend $15 on a shirt. No, I'm going to buy some cheap ones. And then I'm going to get some cute ones that are a little bit more. And they all go together. Like the color scheme, they all mix and match. I ran into Walmart and Ross and did the same thing for my daughter. Yes, for her school wardrobe. Yeah, it's so easy. And that's how I do it with my older kids and myself and Bree. And it's so budget friendly. And then because it's fall, I got her little grandma sweater, if you guys saw that. And a little like mustard hoodie. If only fashion was that simple for me. I love the look of jumpers and tights too. Well, and then I did that too. So I always get her like 2 dresses, like two like fancy dresses so that, you know, in case we go do something or have to go out somewhere, I have it as an option. But also sometimes I like to just have her wear cuter clothes. So Savannah, you can do it. You can do the same thing as long as you are doing it like all at once. That's one of the things that I really recommend, doing it all at once. And that's really why I like doing the whatever size they're in, whatever size they're moving up into, doing it all at once. So it's just like one and done. And you're not like running to the store like I used to. Like, oh man, I don't remember what we have. You know, I'm going to go to Target. Here's, you know, another $30 blown on clothes that we don't need. You can do it for whatever your style, your fashion sense is, as long as you're intentional about it. And so that's what I would recommend. Wait until they're out of their size and then start doing this moving forward and just kind of experiment with it. Okay. I can't tell you buy 7 pants and 7 shirts and call it good. Yeah, that's kind of like the basics of it. I can give you like the framework of it and you can make it your own. Kristen says, what about all the clothes people get for you? So because I do it this way, it's really easy that for me to like happily accept all the clothes that families send us. My mother-in-law knits them sweaters for every size that they are ever in. So we get those a couple times a year. She sends us things from Costco. But because I have a grip on what I buy them and what we have, I can happily and graciously accept those without being totally overwhelmed or annoyed by it. Because I'm never gonna like knock somebody for going out and buying my family gifts. Okay. If they're going out and doing that, that's wonderful. Now, if it's hand-me-downs, I will graciously say, no, thanks, we're good. You know, because that's something that happens a lot of times, especially when you have babies and they're outgrowing the clothes so quickly. Everybody's like, here, take my hand-me-downs, here, take my hand-me-downs. And I learned really quickly that I was saying yes to everybody when I first had my daughter. And I ended up having way too much of, sometimes it was just like, I felt like they just threw all of their clothes that they didn't want to deal with into a bag and sent it to my house, because I would get like their like boy clothes and clothes that were like for 3-year-olds. And it just ended up being a really big headache for me. And I was like, I don't even know what the stuff is. So I started graciously saying no. Now, if you were here for the beginning, you know that my husband and I were on a really tight budget for a big part of this. Back when my son was just born. And so I did accept a lot of hand-me-downs during that time, especially for things like snow gear. But it's okay to say no to hand-me-downs. You don't have to accept them, okay? And if they really insist, accept them and donate them, okay? Shaylee says, hearing myself talk, I had 24 tubs for my first daughter. That is a lot. So many. I've learned this time around, and then jumping into this group confirmed most of what I purchased for the baby was others' hand-me-downs. Yeah. And it's okay to graciously say no. Say, you know what, we're set on clothes. It would be awesome if you gave it to somebody who could really benefit from it. You know, we don't really need it. Give it to somebody who can need it. She's 5 and I'm probably on the last tub that I actually kept. That's crazy. 5? Wait, explain. You bought up to like size 5? So that's our basic system. It works for, and pajamas. Yeah, I buy like 2 to 3 pairs of pajamas because to me, they're sleeping in them. They're not getting dirty. They can wear them more than once before I have to wash them. So they usually have like 2 to 3. Grandparents like to send pajamas for them. So usually it's more, you know, by the end of the size that they're in, it's usually like 4, 5, or 6 because they like to send pajamas, which is fine. But to me, like you can wear pajamas more than once, you know, unless they're having an accident or something. Obviously, you don't want them to sleep in that, but that's our basic system. It's easy. You got to plan it out. You got to be intentional about it, but it's super fun. First of all, like I said, it's fun. My kids are so excited, the older ones now, when it's time to go shopping because they know they're going to get to recreate their wardrobe. They're going to get to recreate. Jessica says, I had a lot of baby clothes and purged a ton, and now she spits up every 5 minutes. Well, yeah, I mean, that's baby life. But they like to be able to recreate their wardrobes, especially my daughter. She's like, you know, she'll be like, this time I'm going to go with like an animal theme. There was one time where she literally had like colorful, like animal graphic t-shirts for all of her stuff. She's had like one time where she was like, I'm only going to get crazy print leggings and then plain t-shirts. And it's really fun, good on the budget, keeps you out of the laundry pile situation. Not overwhelming. I love it. I love that. Yeah, Savannah. So I know you're like, it will work for me, but it will, and you'll have so much fun for it, or have so much fun with it. Good to your budget, super fun. You get to recreate it every time. You get to be creative with it. But most of all, you're not frustrated by the laundry. It does teach them to think really practically. So sometimes when I listen to them talk, like especially when this is not about only clothes, but like when they go and like are looking at the toy aisle of Target, like Brie will be like, yeah, I really like this, but you know, I don't really want to spend my money on it because I'm going to bring it home and I'm not even going to play with it. Like she is self-aware enough to be like, okay, yeah, this is exciting on the shelf, but not when I bring it home. Oh, I had the 24 tubs of hand-me-downs. Okay, I went through and kept what I wanted to use for each size. It took 4 years to finally get to the last tub. This was the first year at age 5 that I got to make her a wardrobe. I did it simplified. I made a list and stuck with it. Then great-grandparents came and filled the rest with what we didn't have. I have 1 tub of random sizes from Christmas and birthday gifts that are too big for her now, but sometimes I ask for them bigger so we can have part of a wardrobe. That is awesome. That is awesome. That was long, sorry. So capsule wardrobes for us, this is kind of the same concept, right? Yes, Amy, this is exactly what I do for myself too. So I actually didn't do it for myself up until I started this group. The first time I did it for myself, I did it in this group because I was like, my wardrobe sucks. You know, I had just had a baby and nothing was fitting me right. And I was kind of over it. And I was like looking at my closet and I was like, it's full of crap that I don't like. So what I used to do was like go scan the racks and be like, that's cute on the rack. That looks like JLo. I want to look like JLo, or I want to look like her, or I want to look like that. And then I would bring all this stuff home and I would never wear it, especially with my work clothes. I was like, man, I want to look like this super put together business professional. And I did, but even the things that I was buying just weren't my style or my color or anything. So a few months back, I gave myself a budget. I think it was like $250 because we had some extra spending money. And I went and I got myself 3 pairs of jeans and I think 9 or 10 tops. I went to JCPenney and I only got jeans that fit me super well. I'm wearing them right now. And tops that I felt good in and that matched my style, like this hoodie. I got some like plain t-shirts that have like pockets and in the colors that I like and the colors that I feel good in. And I basically did the exact same thing that I did with my kids. I like laid out the pants and laid out the shirts and did it that way. And it works really well. And now like I'll put a picture up of my wardrobe too. Like this side of my closet is the stuff that I don't really ever wear, but I have just in case we go to like a nice event or go out to dinner or have like a work party. I have those. And then I have this side of my closet that is like my everyday clothes. And I can just pick the pants, pick a shirt, literally anything I'm going to love and is going to fit me and feels good. And it's super easy because it takes me like 2 seconds to decide. I'm like pants, shirt, boom. I like buying 2 pairs of the jeans that fit really well. The struggle is real with denim. It is. And I think Savannah said the same thing. Let's hear some good jean places from everybody in the comments because I'll try American Eagle, but I might not love the price and cut. So yeah, I use American Eagle and this is why. I can buy a pair of American and they fit me pretty well. I still have a little bit of an issue in the waist where I have to wear a belt, but American Eagle jeans last forever. I get the artist jeans and they will seriously last me like 3 years. So like $50. Depending on their sales, you can get them anywhere from like $29 to $49 at American Eagle, and they last for a long, long time, like years, without fading. Amy says Kohl's, Lauren Conrad, and Rock and Republic. But yeah, that's who I use. And I did like the ones that I'm wearing right now are Levi's because I was like, everybody, recommends Levi's, and these are already fading, and my American Eagle ones aren't. Yeah, the waist is weird for me sometimes for American Eagle, but they're the best out of all of them. But if sorry, I didn't mean to flash you guys. These Levi's are already fading and like feeling like they're getting thin, but my American Eagle ones are still going strong. So I like that. I was just going to mention Lucky Brand. Yeah, I used to wear Lucky Brand. I don't know where I stopped. I don't know. I think I moved to Florida and it doesn't exist there. But it'll exist in Alaska, which is weird. Okay, so those are my tips for you. That's kind of like how I do it. Old Navy mid-rise, I've had them 3 years. Nice. So Old Navy lasts too. That's our basic system. That's how it works. I promise you that it works. I promise you don't need a lot of clothes. Ask yourself, are your clothes doing their job or are they just making more work for you? I got 4 pairs when PacSun went out of business, $8 a piece, and they lasted 4 years. I'm so sad that they're starting to die. What? $8 a piece? That's amazing. I really struggle with finding a good fit at American Eagle. Yeah, a lot of people do. And I don't like skinny jeans, so it's really hard for me to find anything that's not skinny jeans. Shaylee promises you too. Yes, Shaylee promises you too. It works. Some other people, and who else in here does it? Gianna does it in here that I know of. Who else does it? A lot of you are like starting to do it and getting on your way, which is amazing. But I think that's it. If you guys have any follow-up questions, put them in the comments. So let me know. I always come back and answer them. I am going to go live again in about an hour, maybe, talking to you guys about Motherhood Simplified, the course. Okay, it closes today. Closes today until January. Oh, Amy has a question. There's a lag, so I will wait until I can see what your question is. But Motherhood Simplified, the course, simplifying every area of your mom life. Mindset, relationships, self-care, time management, home management, cleaning systems, journaling, friendships, marriage simplified, all these things, everything, all of it in one place, in one course, in a digital platform. You get access to it for life. Then we're doing 2 weeks of group coaching where I'm going to hold you accountable, walk you through it all, teach you how to do it, make sure that I'm answering any of your questions. And I'm not doing it again until January. I'm not doing it again until then. So that's 3 months. 3 months. So if you want to join us in that, I'm going to not tell you the link because it's really long. motherhoodsimplified.thinkific.com/courses/motherhood-simplified, right? Super long. So I told you anyway. Join us. I'm going to put it in the comments so that you can join us. It's going to be amazing for round 2. I feel like my boys' wardrobes will be easier than my daughter's. So many pretty things. Yes. What do you use for detergent to help protect the clothing? I don't wash denim or good quality tops until they're soiled or smell, but with kids' clothes, I use Gain. I don't use anything fancy. I wash it on cold and then I dry it on low. And I used to use Woolite, but I don't know. I don't know that it works. The biggest thing that I found was, this is maybe not something that you can do, but we have a washing machine that doesn't have the thing in the middle of it that like tears up the clothes. Like, you know, like your bras get wrapped around it, yanks it and stretches it. We don't have that in the middle of it. Now it's just one big drum and it's a lot easier on the clothes. I use Gain or Sun or whatever is cheap. Yeah, I use Gain most of the time. In a world that talks about so many things and so many choices and so much stuff, this is so refreshing. We don't need that stuff to be happy. We need to be healthy all around and focused on the things that last. Thank you. You're welcome. I love that you are seeing that, Kirsten, because yes, we do talk about decluttering, but below the surface, it's so much more. And you're exactly right. We don't get happiness from stuff. Oftentimes, it's actually the exact opposite. We get super overwhelmed by our stuff, and it brings us down, 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 down. I do have a top load with an agitator, but I love it for cloth diapers. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, if you have cloth diapers, that's a great thing to have. Yeah, I don't really have any like laundry tips other than I don't wash my husband's work clothes anymore because I ruined them. That was bad. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. I know this live is about clothes, but I'm trying to pick up my house and cleaning my closet. I'm feeling like I'm at the bottom of the sea today. Any advice for today? Just keep going. Just keep going. The fact that you're doing that is good, Savannah. The fact that you're doing something is good. It feels good to like move. Like movement is life. Just keep going. Keep going. And actually, Derek wanted to bring Zeppelin a cookie for her birthday. So maybe we'll stop by and drop you off. Yeah, Savannah can do it. Be easy on yourself. Be easy on yourself. That's why I love to hear you talk. It's calming for me because I need most of it already. I think I'm reading that wrong, but it disappeared. Yeah, you can totally do it. Just be easy on yourself. Be easy on yourself. You just got to like rewire your thoughts. You know, you're working on it. It gets easier as you go. It gets easier as you go. It's super hard at first. Like, I don't know if you were in the self-care thing with Melissa Hillary. We're going to run that challenge again, and I actually need to call her today. But Melissa told us a lot in that group. It's really hard at first. It's really hard when you're starting. And then it gets easier. So Kaylee just woke up from her nap. That's my cue to go. Any other follow-up questions, let me know in the comments and I will come back to them. Bye.